everybody, my name is Quinn and welcome to my channel. I hope you all are having a great day. Today we are going to be talking about the top 5 series that I can't wait to read. These are in no particular order and I don't know exactly when I'm going to get to all of them, but I'm pretty excited to read all of them. I love watching these videos because I think it gives me ideas of what to read, so hopefully maybe you hear a series you haven't heard of before and you want to read it as well. Now some of these series that I can't wait to read are trilogies. They only have 3 books. I don't really know what constitutes as a series. I don't know if it's 4 or 5, so just keep that in mind when I am reading off the list. The first series that I can't wait to read is the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo, consisting of Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Rune and Rising. Now I'm not going to lie, I primarily want to read this before I read Six of Crows because I've heard a lot of great things about Six of Crows, and I know that they take place in the same universe, and I know that you don't have to read the Grisha trilogy before you read Six of Crows, but I kind of like when authors do that and they create the same world, and I think you get a more well-rounded experience when you are reading the other books in the series if you understand the world before you go into it. So that is kind of my reasoning as to why I want to read the Grisha trilogy. There have been kind of a lot of mixed things about this book. Some people really like it, some people really don't. So I'll be kind of curious to see what I think of it compared to everyone else and whether I like it as much as some other people. Now I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much about this book. I know that it is set in sort of like a magical Russia and that there is this place called the Fold, and in the Fold is this kind of everlasting darkness that no one wants to go through because people end up dead. I think they're killed by some magical creatures. I don't know. I'm also really excited to read this book because all of the magic is based on science, which is really cool. I really love when magic has a rhyme and a reason and it has like a purpose in a book, so I'm really curious to see how they weave that through the book. But yeah, I don't exactly know when I'm going to get to this book, but I really hope that it is soon so then I can read Six of Crows. And I hear people just love Six of Crows, that even if they don't like the Grisha trilogy, they absolutely love Six of Crows. So this book is kind of at the top of my list and I can't wait to start the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. The second series on this list is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. There are only 2 books out right now, but I believe it will be a trilogy right now. It is A Darker Shade of Magic and A Gathering of Shadows. Like a lot of other books on this list, I don't entirely know exactly what it's about, but I've been really wanting to go into my books lately that way, so that I'm kind of more surprised when I'm reading it. But I know that this book has to do with magical Londons. There are 2 parallel Londons, which is just so cool. One has magic and one does not, and then there's a magician that can travel between both. I've always been fascinated by this idea of parallel worlds, that they can, be structured the same but be completely different, so I'm really excited to see how that is tackled in this book. It just sounds like a really fascinating concept. Everyone has been raving about it and I really can't wait to see what all the hype is about. So that too is kind of up there on what series I want to read next. The third series on this list is the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Now this is the series I've been most hesitant to start. 1, I'm not really into sci-fi, and 2, the last fairy tale retelling I read I really didn't like. So I'm kind of scared to read more fairy tale retellings because I'm afraid that I'll find them all predictable since I do know the original fairy tale. But everyone has been raving about this book, literally everyone, and I'm really kind of curious to see what all the hype is about. And I know that there are fantasy elements and I will like the fantasy, but I'm a little bit hesitant, so it probably won't be one of the books that I get to right away. I'll get to it, but I just don't know when. The fourth series on this list is the Fallen Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes. Now I'm not gonna lie, I probably know the least about this series compared to all the other series I've mentioned. From what I've heard about it, it sounds really great. It's been kind of described to me as something similar to Throne of Glass, and by the description I read, I kind of got the feeling that it was sort of similar to like a YA Game of Thrones sort of thing, and I love me some Game of Thrones and Throne of Glass. So if they're anything like that, I will probably love it because I love the Game of Thrones TV show and I'm completely obsessed with the Throne of Glass series, so I have high hopes about this. From what I've heard from everyone, this is just a really great fantasy series, so the more fantasy the better, and I can't wait to get my hands on this book. The last series on this list is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series. I've heard so many great things about this trilogy, but I will admit that I am jumping on the bandwagon for this one. I really wasn't going to read it until I saw the trailer for the movie, because honestly I thought that this book was a scary book, and that was why I kind of steered away from that because I don't really like scary stuff. But from the trailer it kind of looks more fantasy and paranormal, and from what people have been saying, saying the trailer was very close to the book. So if it's anything like the trailer, I will probably really enjoy it. So those are all the series that I can't wait to read. Again, I don't know when I'm going to read them, but those will probably be the series I start first. I hope that you guys really liked this video. Please leave a comment down below on what series you want to read. I am always looking for new series and recommendations. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye guys!